Boyfriend and I have been in a bad place for over a week after I said something hurtful. My, F25, have been with my boyfriend, M26, for 5 years and I really feel like we are a good fit. We rarely have big fights and when we do we are usually pretty good at communicating to find a solution for them. About a week and a half ago we were on vacation for a week together. One of the days I overdid it with the drinks and I completely blacked out. I lost about 5 hours that night and woke up at 11:30 p.m. back in our hotel room with my boyfriend very upset with me. I have no memory of what happened in that time and I don't usually drink too excessively like that. I always try to drink in moderation as I've had a few bad experiences. When I asked him about what happened he told me that I was having a discussion with another girl at the resort and when he walked over I said, "F your mom," to him. Now his mom is pretty difficult and she has said some rude, disrespectful things to me over the years. I also know that if we are to get married and start a family his mother would say a lot more rude, disrespectful things to me throughout my life. I never thought any of the things she said to me really affected me but maybe drunk me feels differently? I'm not sure because I truly don't remember. I was mortified that I said something like that and have apologized to him. I told him I take 100% responsibility for what I said and told him how I plan on making sure it never happens again. I don't normally say terrible things like that about anyone so I am ashamed and embarrassed that I could say something so horrible. My boyfriend is very big on respect and obviously feels like I've disrespected his mother so he's incredibly upset. I understand and I feel quite upset with myself too. He told me he doesn't know if this is something he's going to be able to get past and that he just needs time to think about it. I completely understand and was happy to give him some time to think about it and how he truly feels. We did have a few days left on vacay before we came back home so it was hard to really give him some space while we were there. Once we did come back I gave him a few more days to think about it on his own since we finally could have some space. We spoke again about 2 days after we got back and I apologized again but he said he still needs time to think about what he wants. He said he doesn't want it to happen again and then we are in the same position and that he keeps replaying the moment in his head. I figured he still needed some more time so I thought giving him a couple more days would help. Now it's almost been a week since we got back and we still haven't discussed his feelings or what he wants with us. We have never gone this long without discussing a fight. I do not want to break up but at the same time I know what I said is definitely not okay. I can understand if he is not able to move on. We are still texting a little bit each day to check in and discuss a few important things with our life as we are pretty embedded in each other's lives but I think that's just confusing me more. I know that there is a chance that he doesn't forgive me but I'm scared our texting is giving me more false hope that we can move forward. I want to give him the space he needs to decide but this in between is killing me. I can't stand not knowing if we will stay together or break up. How much longer should I give him to think about it all? If your boyfriend is very big on respect, why hasn't he shut down his mom's disrespect toward you? He wants to break up because of one rude comment while drunk after 5 years together? Either something else is going on or dude needs to grow a pair. Maybe I'm desensitized to insults. Everyone's a CNT where I live. But F-er mother is pretty tame. I mean, it sounds to me like your boyfriend is way too sensitive of a man. You've been together for 5 years and he is considering ending it over an F your mom. Seems pretty ridiculous. Something tells me he isn't telling you everything that happened that night. I don't like my husband's aunt, she had a very big part in raising him, but I wouldn't just say, "Fuck your aunt," while piss drunk for no reason. It also seems unreasonable for him to be this angry over a simple, "fuck your mom." Sure, pissed for a night or two but a whole week, that's excessive. Also it's funny how he's so big on respect, but doesn't seem to find any problem with his mother disrespecting you. Does he know how rude, disrespectful his mother has been to you? Has he ever addressed that either with you or his mother? This isn't on you alone. This is on you, him, and his mother. If you held in your feelings for this long until you got drunk, then bully for you. If he's so damn big on respect, where's his respect for you? Maybe you two should talk about her mother's behavior first before anything else? Does he think it's okay for her to be rude and disrespect you? I think you have a lot bigger issues going on than you saying, "F your mom." My girlfriend literally disappeared. No closure. WTF do I do? I rather won't give any details about our relationship before this in case she somehow finds this. Basically what happened, she left on a vacation that was supposed to be 3 weeks long. You could say our relationship before was perfect, but ever since she left and I am talking since the very begging, she communicated with me rather poorly. After a week or so she didn't communicate whatsoever. She blocked me on everything, wouldn't respond to anything. I thought she got kidnapped for a while. Turns out she has a friend there whom she lives with. That's all I know. Her vacation is 6 months long now and she won't be coming back. I don't know why. There hasn't been any closure to this. Why break up like this? Every day I think about what she might be doing or where she might be. She could be somewhere else for all I know. The fact that we have no closure to this is the worst feeling I have ever felt. I physically feel the pain in my heart. I need to know why this happened. I would have been fine if we broke up like normal people. I don't know what to do. I am afraid because she potentially could be in danger? Help me. TBH, my first thought was she has escaped an abusive relationship with you. She is no longer on vacation. She moved away without telling you that was her goal. You will never know why. Usually it is what people do when they flee an abuser. Take a solid look at your behavior and then move on with your life. No point in being hung up on someone who didn't want you. Block and move on. Not every relationship ends with a big fancy breakup meeting, speech. I dated someone on and off for almost 2 years and back in April her last message to me was a routine smile and I haven't heard from her since. The only time I've ever disappeared, aka move out while he was at work, was because my ex had started threatening physical abuse and would scream at me. I was scared to tell him I was leaving because I knew he wouldn't take it well. I did leave a note though? Any chance this girl is scared of you? If so, perfectly understandable why she wouldn't say she was leaving. If she wasn't scared of you and just wanted to avoid confrontation, then it was a shitty thing to do, but you generally don't get closure from people who are the type to just bail. LMAO, you're not fooling any of these Redditors with your explanation. Couldn't tell you what she's thinking, could be a number of things. The fact of the matter is that you should understand the message, block her back and move on. I understand it's hard and weird for the sudden communication cutoff, but that's a big red flag if you didn't do anything wrong. I once remember reading a story about someone who found out their significant other was cheating. They didn't confront them about the cheating, but they just left with all their belongings and cut off communication. We're on a break. Should I go see her next week or should I move on? Hey everyone, my 24M girlfriend, 21F, and I went on a break about a month ago. We're both in college and she stays with her dad in the summers and winters, which is about 5 hours away. I was coming to see her a few weeks ago, but she was acting weird, wouldn't FaceTime me, and didn't want me to come see her because she said she was visiting her grandparents. She ended up telling me that she's been dealing with depression throughout the summer and she needed some space to figure out what was going on with herself mentally. She said she wouldn't be talking to any other guys. She didn't treat it like a break though, she called me the next day. We had some arguments after that, but I insisted that I needed the space if we were gonna do this. I treated it like a breakup. A week later I told her I needed to move on. However, she called me a week later begging me back. I agreed to try and make things work. Unfortunately, she says we're not technically dating even though we've been acting like a couple. She says we need to see how things go this semester with school because we won't have as much time to talk to each other. She will be in undergrad about 2 hours away from me. I start physical therapy school this month. It will be a vigorous doctorate program for 3 years. When I asked her if the break was necessary, she said we could talk about it, but we haven't yet. She said she still wants me to see her next week when she comes back to her college, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live right now. She wants me to spend a few nights with her and help her move into her apartment. I can't help but worry if I'm just going to get heartbroken again, and that's what I've tried to tell her. In her mind she says we have to see how this semester goes and try to make it work. Should I come see her next week? Or should I move on, grieve, heal, and focus on school? I love her, but ever since she wanted a break I can't help but have my doubts. This sounds like a lot of drama. I couldn't really even follow all the back and forth. I'd say this: if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. Don't be a backup plan. Be the plan. Break up, and move on. I don't get this whole we're on a break phenomenon. Fuck that. Either break up or be fully invested. Fuck the in-between. I really don't understand who came up with this break idea. No problem on God's green earth can be solved by ignoring it. Breaks do not exist. They're usually just an excuse to entertain someone else without it being considered cheating. Right now she's going back and forth with you. The whole begging for me back But then, clarifying that we aren't technically dating, should have the point you tell her to lose your number. She's manipulating you. If I was you, I'd drop her. Find someone closer to you to date, and make it clear that any mention of breaks equals immediate breakup. You'll save yourself a lot of grief that way. Good luck. I would not put up with this. Breaks are a prelude to the end. My fiance said she loves her ex more than anyone else. How should I handle that? The problem is it does bother me. I'm just not sure if I'm wrong in being bothered. They were together off and on for 5 years. Some good, a lot bad. He was very abusive, drugs etc., and now he's dead. They were already broken up before he died. She got out finally and moved away, and 6 months or so later he died due to drugs and health issues. Anyways, we started dating. Got engaged. She is very excited and happy about getting married. In love with me etc. etc. She's always commented about how she'll always love him, which I get. But then she said how she loves him more than she does any other person. She tells me I shouldn't care how she feels about him or anything involving him cause he's dead. So he can't get in the way of things. I told her I disagree. Dead or not, if her heart still wants or belongs to him, then that's what matters. She either isn't truly ready to be with someone else, or she just doesn't love me as much as she thinks. It just feels like I'll always be compared to him and never good enough. Even though she claims even if he was still alive she would rather be with me than him because of how bad their relationship was and how great I am etc. etc. It's like she thinks I'm wrong for feeling like I'm a rebound or second best even though he's dead. Thoughts? Congratulations on being the winning backup plan. You offer her a stable life, but you are not her first choice. She would logic herself into staying with you, but would desire to be with her ex. I suggest letting her go. She's not there for you, she's with you for herself. It does sort of feel like you are second best. Postpone the marriage, get some couples counseling. She may have complicated grief that requires therapy to get through. You are not wrong. Suspend wedding plans until you two have had a little counseling. She's still not over him, and competing with a ghost is a losing proposition. Take a step back and re-evaluate. You shouldn't be second best to a dead abuser. She is trying to make it look like it's not a problem since he is dead, but what if he wasn't as she's saying it would be and she would cheat on you or leave you? Too many red flags to stay on your current path. It's a major red flag. It means she hasn't moved on. It's one thing to say that he'll always have a place in her memories, it's completely different to say that he's the person she'll love the most ever. That's not okay, and I'd be concerned about a lifelong commitment with her. No. You don't deserve this. I'd call off the wedding and go to couples counseling. Your concern is valid. Marriage is tough, and the last thing you want to hear slung at you someday when you're really under pressure is the knowledge that the ex would have been preferable. She's allowed to place this ex at the top of her heart, for a little while at least during mourning, but that's not healthy for you, and if therapy uncovers the news that he's always going to stay there, then respectfully, you need to walk away, because that knowledge will breed resentment down the line. Don't marry this person until you know for sure that you are the number one.